So, a man named Como came onto my channel, and I talked to him a lot, so it's not really all that special. But he said, okay, here goes. Here's one. What if the players are bartenders? Well, we can split that one up. I said I wouldn't do it because it's kind of outside the scope to discuss campaign ideas, but why not? Why not make bad builds about whatever I want? Welcome to Bad Builds, by the way, where we discuss the ideas of characters that aren't particularly exciting. Doesn't look like a good idea, but it's a fun idea. And fun! If you have fun, who cares? I mean, depending on the setting, you might want to consider because some GMs might get a bit busy. But, all in all, how can we split this up? Well, there's a few ways we can look at this. We can look at the players as facilitators. Oh. We can look at the players as manipulators, as he recommended. So let's start off with these two. Facilitators. So the players are kind of like the middleman, you know, like other player characters come over. So other characters, they come over. Other characters, they come over, and they want quests. They want quests. They want tips. They want tricks. They essentially come to the inn because they want to talk. They want to have a chat. They want to shake some hands. I mean, how many quests start off in inns? How many grand adventures start off with you're in an inn? That's your goal. Is your characters are there. You help them out. You gather information like, listen, I heard this rumor, but I also heard this rumor, and you essentially live off tips. It's kind of boring. It depends on the kind of GM you have. Like, do you have a GM that likes lots of NPCs? Do you like a GM that just makes one-off parties all the time? Because then you could have manipulators. So, it's a basic idea. They can have manipulators, where we take a little bit more of a fiendish step. You're not just enabling quests. You're you're pulling strings in the background. You've got some backdoor deals. Like a bunch of adventurers come in, like, they may match up with this description, do they? You roll out a bit of scrolling, you know, like, you roll, crumple it up, throw it away. You take a deep breath, pull out a big, thick tankard, and say, this one's on the house. Someone treated everyone to a round, so go and have a good time. And you poison them. They fall unconscious, like, oh, well, I'll just give them a room on the house. You pull them down to the basement, smack sense into them. I mean, it depends on how you want to treat the inn. Like, what is the inn? Is it the location? Is it the setting? Does your innkeeper ever go out? Do you specifically hire adventurers and then take them along to a journey? Now, I also like the idea of his masterminds. You are not an inn, but you're more like an adventuring guild. Like, the building the inn is the inn. You have the front man, who the rogue is. You've got the blacksmith who makes the magic stuff, that make the nice weaponries. You got a wizardly dude who takes care of all the magic and scrolls, and then you got a cleric who takes care of all the nice potions. And then you have a basic standard adventuring party, but they run an inn. They provide all the facilities everyone needs, and they help out, they give advice. Maybe they go on quests. Like, occasionally they go on their own. Like, they gather information, and they get this good lead, and they're like, listen, I know this lead. Like, everyone thinks it's a rumor, but we got a lot of information on this. And you just go out. Runs it in. And sells items. Also kind of wants to soak up adventures. Now, the backdoor deals is you're kind of criminal. You'll backstab a bunch of people. But on the plus side, you've got some favors. Every gold piece of like, don't forget, like, a gold piece is like a lot of money to some people. So to some people, it's like you give them a gold piece, they're like, hey. It's something a lot of people get wrong about. Like, later on, Jesus Christ, man. Like, if I offer a street like 500 gold, that's like me offering like $20,000 to someone. Like, here's $20,000. All I need you to do is tell me where your boss is at. Who's not gonna take that deal? Like, how deep in the CIA do you have to be before that's like, I'm never gonna tell you? And even then, like, I'm pretty sure the boss of the CIA is that much secret. Like, I'm pretty sure the top man attends a bunch of public meetings and is on cameras a lot. I mean, he's probably not the boss people refer to, but, you know. Nowadays, it's not a secret. Like, what's your relationship with the local constabulary? Like, are you part of the city guard? Does the city guard know you? Do they know what you're doing? How are they involved? Because a big question is, if you're running this, like, private adventuring guild, like, how many people are okay with this? How many people look at you and are like, I think this is okay. These people are kind of pulling strings all over here. They want tips. They want tricks. Now, again, the kind of comes down to your GM. Like, if you really want to do this, you're a player, you really want to do this, what kind of GM do you have? Do you have a GM that wants to, like, okay, let's split it up into the big three. You've got the Explorers. With the Explorers, you can do this very easily. You can just say, every adventure you get, like, has a certain amount of chance to discover, like, an area. Like, you're near the frontier. Everything west is unexplored. And instead of the players being the explorers, it's like the adventurers. Maybe those adventurers are, like, other people who are like, I want to play a new guy every day. And then you have the inn guy who's like, I just want to run an inn. And you mix them together, and you have, like, okay, inn guy, I got these, and these guys, and then the other guys are like, oh, cool, new heroes, and they got all this cool shit. And they're super excited because they play someone else every day, and they go to different places every day. They hear about this place that's super dangerous, and the next time they get to play super strong heroes, and come kicking in the door, and like, yeah! Swinging their swords and torches all around. You can do a lot with that, if you know what you're doing. So that's kind of the exploration aspect, like, you just want some exploration. Combat, you could do a similar thing, where this is just getting the mercenaries to do something. Like, you're just the guy who's like, listen, I got a guy over there, he needs something taken care of, and 500 gold if you do it. And then later, you just play that part. You play the little micro quest. It's a similar idea. What if you didn't tell them? What if you're manipulators in the sense that you have quests, but you don't tell them everything? Every single thing you do, you're like, you get 500 gold, they get 50. Could you imagine you're an innkeeper who has all these quests running in the background, and you're making fat dosh? Because what did they know? The adventurers don't have the know-how to talk up to the captain of the guard, to approach a local noble. They don't have that kind of push and sway. It'll take years before they get to that level, so you can just polish them around a bit, like, 50 gold for you and 70 gold for me. You can just exploit it, and it's great. Then you get a lot of interaction. Very strong interaction, too, because now your character is sort of pushing and pulling all over the place. You're manipulating every situation. And so you kind of get everything, don't you? That's everything covered. You got your ice, you got your full thing. This is a bit of a shorter one because I didn't have much to go with this, because this is more of a campaign idea. Depends on what kind of GM you have. Maybe your character is like the sole human in a lizard man village, and he has to sort of manipulate the village so that they never quite look into why he's there. Like, you can do a lot with it. You can set the backdrop up. Maybe you're an extremely powerful wizard, but you're too old to go out of the house, so you shoot magic spells at people to help them out. You can make a puzzle game out of it, where you have all this stuff, and you can only give them X things, and then you have to equip each party, and then they go out, and the GM is like, you didn't give them the right stuff, like, you didn't gather enough intelligence, your reconnaissance was wrong, you sent them out with a cloak of fire, but you should have gotten a cloak of ice, because there's a giant fire monster in there, and that kind of fun stuff. You can do anything with it. It's a very broad idea, but that's the fun part, isn't it? Is you start digging deep. That's what brainstorming is about, is you just take a big fat shovel, and you just start shoveling and shoveling and shoveling, until you reach the rock bottom, and you're like, man, this is exciting. Yeah! Also, classic RuneScape music is fucking radical. A real cool radical Rex. At the end of the day, yes, it's something you can do a lot with. I know it's a short episode for bad builds, but it's a bit of a bonus episode. I've got a bunch of stuff planned. Don't worry about it. I still got some materials. But don't forget, suggestions are welcome of any kind. Like a suggestion for, like, just an occupation. How do I implement this occupation? It can be for legit, like, how do I reskin a character to be more exciting? How do I get X without having to make a whole new class out of it? Like, I've got some things coming. Don't worry. We'll be talking about barbarians and fighting wizards and all kinds of stuff. And sort of what goes into it. But, I kind of want bad builds to primarily be about, like, you're just a fucking schmo. Or you're a nobleman. And you're going out and about becoming a wizard. Like, what goes into that? How does that color in your character? How does that make your character weird and different? How does that make you stand out? How does that give you role-playing opportunities? And what do you need to do with the GM to mooch him up and get everything working? Anyway, that was fun. Thanks, Como. Lovely to get some suggestions right out of the gate to really pad things out while I figure out the rest. 9 minutes! Woo!